Hello, everyone, fellow compatriots. Welcome to the Cosmic Television Network. I'm Commander Salamander, and we are here in the house with our fearless leader, Emery Smith, and our excellent hero and special guest, JP Missions.
I'm not reaching at all.
Take it away, gentlemen. We love you. You're geniuses, heroes, and legends.
Thank you, Commander Salamander. Another great webinar today. Welcome, JP Missions, of course. JP, really appreciate you coming on. There's always great updates. JP, it's been a harrowing week.
Yeah.
Because of the crazy attacks been going on with the team.
Yep.
We had Daniel got hit, David Adair got hit, Daniel Brinkley got hit, David Adair got hit.
I just came to show everybody. Just came from the hospital.
And you just got out of the emergency room 45 minutes ago.
Yep.
And these energy beam weapon attacks are very serious. And our team's been getting hit this past week a little bit more than normal. And it scrambles your energy. It scrambles your etheric field, your physical field. Yeah, that one. Your emotional state. And it really sends you for a loop. We have ways that we combat this, of course, in the team here, with utilizing other different types of scalar frequencies and other things. And we're going to talk a little bit about that since, JP gave us a big scare this morning. We're getting videos and pictures of him.
I still have to take these things out.
Yeah, that's for the EKGs.
Yeah.
So JP literally just drove and walked in the door. We were going to cancel. I was going to still do the do a Q&A and stuff and postpone JP, but he was, he's a trooper. He says, "No, Emery, the show must go on, even if I have to do it here in this bed, this hospital bed." And I said, "All right, well, let's see how you feel in an hour, because this started at like 6 a.m. 4 a.m. his time." So we waited, and he ripped everything off and he went home just to do this show. So thank you, JP.
That's good.
True soldier in arms as always. We love you for coming on and doing that. And like I said, even Darla got hit really bad this week, incapacitated. Adair, Brinkley, Dr. Sandra Rose Michael, her team. It was bad hit. A lot of people I can't mention. But they're on to us, and these things happen. Happens a lot when I do these webinars where people are getting sick or they get taken out the day before. Like I said, physically, emotionally, depending on what it is, we're still part of this three-dimensional dimension that we have to abide by these rules, these scientific rules, and that means we too can also we're not impervious, and everyone goes through this in some form or faction or some level. Anyway, that if you're dealing with consciousness, and especially if you're an educator in the world of sciences that are very controversial, such as the ET stuff, free energy, health and fitness, these kind of things they don't want to talk about. So JP, since this is going to be probably replayed millions of times in the next 100 years, tell everyone a little bit about yourself. You're in the military for a while. Just give them a little brief background.
I went to Fort Jackson, Fort Lee, Virginia, Fort Benning, Georgia, Eglin Air Force Base, Nasquias, Mississippi, Navy Marine Special Operation Base. Big deal, in and out as a civilian. Other different types of agencies. And I've been to places that a lot of soldiers that are in these programs go, including yourself. So you know where we're coming from with bringing this information out, and the attacks that we received left and right, from the black hats but we also got the white hats that are protecting, and we're on to this, and what's happening now with this beautiful administration, it's playing out good. So it is what it is,
What are some of the things positive that you've seen? I mean, you and I've been talking for 6 months now or so. What are some of the positive things that you see, the changes that you could share with the audience here?
Technology is advancing really fast in the medical field and also militarily, and I think is going to push forward humanity to get closer in contact with these extraterrestrials that are living in our oceans and our solar system, and these non-biologicals. Yeah, it's going to be advancing really fast technology.
Yeah.
So that's going to be excited for everybody in our fields.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited. It hits so many different fields. I know you and I are really big on the medical beds and things like that. You definitely had done a lot of interviews with Michael Sala on this stuff, which you can go on his website and see. What's the newest, latest that we can share? Because, when I talk about it, JP, is that there's levels of medical beds, and people think
Yeah.
they see one movie, Hollywood movie, and that's the medical bed. It doesn't work that way. There's different kinds of medical beds. There's different stages and levels of medical beds of what they are entrained to do. And they use different types of sciences. The different type of sciences that are involved really we haven't been taught that yet. It is quantum physics. It's quantum nanotechnology, and it works on a subatomic particle. Okay, so this is all subatomic stuff. We're talking really, really, talking about the ether, the morphogenic field, the infraspace. There's many different terms for this, and you're accessing all this, and all that is in these beds. And the beds may look. There's so many different kinds of different beds. Some look like giant geodes. Some look like they're actually a nuts and bolts kind of thing, like the military has implemented. Some are reverse engineered from extraterrestrial craft, right, JP?
Yeah, of course, 100%. I just did an update with Doc. We went to the same. They took me to the same facility in Eglin Air Force Base, where the med beds were, but they took me to another section of this area. And Commander Salamander, you can put those picture up if you want, real quick. One of them.
Yeah, he'll get to it. I know he's doing a couple of different things, but yeah, he'll get on it and bring it up.
Okay, so yeah, I send them some, some illustrations of some pictures. So they took me to a room that was full of soldiers laying down, and the doctor, it was a security room. I had to go through security. I had to park outside, give my keys, give my phones, give my ID information out before entering this building. We went through a metal doors. We went through white rooms, cleansing rooms, and they took us to this room. The doctor took me to this room where you had these soldiers laying down. I asked him, "Hey, what the hell's going on here?" So I talked to the doctor, and he told me that these are devices that they're similar to med beds, but also they take your consciousness using your blood, your DNA. So your DNA shows the history of your ancestors, of your DNA has the history and your memories as well. As you know, it carries memory. It's not just the brain, because the brain is made of blood, made of blood cells too. So it is your blood that carries the memories of your past lives. So they put these soldiers in these machines, and apparently he told me that I have been going through this, but I don't have no recollection. And it could transport you to a mechanical device or a type of avatar that looks like you, that has your DNA. So similar to the film, the biggest drip drop ever, Avatar. the movie. So yeah, they took me to this room and they showed me how it worked and how these soldiers um, were laying down and
Were they exposed to the atmosphere, or are they in their own atmosphere capsule, or is it kind of like they have their own? I know you have these great pictures here. Um, could you explain like the actual? It's just on tables, right? They're just on tables.
yeah, it's on regular tables, but the device, the helmet itself, it's like it has the technology of med beds, but it's from here up,
Right.
securing your head area,
Mhm.
and the rest is like connecting things and connecting you as a doctor. You know that after you get into this, they connect you with so many information, and the computers in the background show the state of the soldier and where the soldier is located at the same time, quantum entanglemently, um, in different locations, maybe around the world or even outside our solar system on different ships working. So while they're here, they could be working over there as well in avatars or in mechanical devices. So
Yeah,
this update,
absolutely.
this update is going to be really interesting, and it's
Yeah,
going to shock a lot of people.
yeah, absolutely, and that's definitely something everyone's going to see here in the future, in the next, uh, you know, 2 to 5 years, with the advancements of these different types of med beds. And like you said, some of these med beds we're talking about, you're not like in an egg or capsule. It might just be your head. The devices that go around your head use this special quantum these quantum energies that are stereotactic, which means they can home in on different cells in the brain and activate different parts of the brain that have to do with consciousness and splitting of the consciousness by locating. In the future, it's quite easy for a person to, one pilot, control 1,000 ships, and one engineer to also control 1,000 ships.
Yeah.
These are things, right, JP?
Yep, for sure,
Yeah.
100%.
So this is interesting because when we're getting into robotics and these cybernetic organisms now and AI and stuff, you know, that can be also, transferred into businesses, into the military applications, of course. And, it's just an unlimited amount of things you can do with it. Elon Musk is working on his neural net, device and stuff, and showing very promising things. In the future, you won't have to have an implant because, as JP had stated, which I'm glad he did, is that your DNA is a crystalline structure. It is a hard drive, and it does have all your lineage in it. A lot of these satellites that are up there, unfortunately, are tracking us through. It's like a fingerprint. We all have a frequency. All of our cells make up a frequency, but it's the DNA frequency of just one cell. And in that strand, the vibratory, harmonic, and photonic frequencies and energies are easily recorded and labeled, such as when we do our full body scans. Um, Darla and I and our team of pilots and co-pilots, you can check that out at emerysmith.co and read the description here. We are, through a nonlinear system, we're connecting to you just through a piece of DNA, just through when you mail us a fingernail or a hair sample, along with a picture, we can measure the photons coming off of that and immediately track that energy signature and find out what's the discrepancy, in these cells, and why do you have this Lyme disease or cancer. And we always, find out what that is because those things are giving off their own frequency. Not too many laboratories can do that, of course, in the civilian world, but it is coming out. There are a lot of different types of nonlinear systems out there. Ours is just happens to be has the most amount of frequencies ever recorded, and around 2.2 million frequencies from around the world, and
Yep.
some off-planet frequencies as well. So it's great to see, that JP has firsthand experience in looking, at these med beds. And, I don't know if you could talk about it. I know you did have actually some treatments where they did take your blood, and or trying to work on you. Your lineage is very special. I won't get into that unless you want to, because of the background with all the stuff you've been through, and of course your family's family,
Yeah.
which I love saying because we're all part of this family. The lineage is there's this thing with lineage. You know, it could be used, to heal someone, different lineages, frequencies, and also could be used to, harm people,
Yeah.
which they do have the ability to do that through scalar and photometry. Like they just, attacked him viciously last night and short circuited him. And this happens a lot, when they're trying to reverse engineer ET technology. Um, and if you get too close to a ship, you can actually short circuit yourself through the energies. Even when you're doing CE5s and meditating, you have to have respect for that, and be careful when dealing with these energies. Even though it feels so wonderful and great, it's simple. You it very easily can happen, which we've seen it happen. It's happened to me. I've been short circuited many times, unfortunately, and one time I was even out for 2 weeks. I couldn't move because it short circuited my neural capacity in my spine.
Oh,
So I
wow.
couldn't walk. I was awake and stuff, but I couldn't walk. Anyway, got back to that, and that was my fault because I was accepting these energies. So, JP, tell us a little bit more. What else do you want to share about that?
Yeah,
That
that's one of the reasons I wear the mask, because your face does carry a type of frequency and energy, So they teach you that when you go through these different types of programs, you know. And I was told, hey, just wear the mask when you're giving out information. That's it, you know.
Yeah, the
Uh,
face is it's an amazing thing. When we can actually do scans without DNA, without a fingernail or a hair sample when you mail it in, so you don't have to be present. We can do it just from your picture. It's the same type of technology that the James Webb Telescope has been utilizing to take pictures of planets that are so far away, and they can look at that picture and they measure the frequencies of the carbon and all the different, you know, things that make up, like say, an organism. What kind of soil is it? What's in the soil? Is there iron in it? So these frequencies come off of a picture, and they have the same device, but we developed it for the body, and they developed it for the body and for planets, which is fascinating that we can get all this information just from someone's picture. And JP is completely correct when he says, definitely covering your face is one of the key things of making sure that psychic attacks and energy beam weapon attacks, especially scalar and photometry weapons, can read and find you. So you can learn a lot from a picture when we enter into our special device, and it reads all the light coming off of the picture, which is your hard drive. So this energy that you're in the 3D, you're just assimilating in your brain, Emery and JP here. But if we went to the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, we will totally look different. Same thing if we go back in the second dimension. So the light that comes off, these photons and electrons that come off of us, now can be, deciphered, and that's what we did. And it's really a beautiful thing. The other thing is that energy that comes off of you, those energies that are around you in your little bubble when you're walking around, people can access them, especially when they're near you, or if they see you on TV. Certain individuals, as JP knows, special different types of agents that can look at someone. And a lot of you listeners here have this ability where you can pick up on a good egg or a bad egg, and that's because your energy field might be too large and you're bringing in too many attacks or too many people. So keep that energy close, but when you want to focus on maybe your dog is sick or your cat, and then you can get next to them or look at them, and you can practice this too. And it might be something JP and I might be doing in the future, of giving a couple of educational lectures on this. What do you think about that, JP?
I'm down. I'm down to do that, to teach people how to regulate their frequency and to connect with each other with their own ability that is given to us. We have this ability already since birth. We just have to develop it and train it. you know, how the monks do it in Tibet. So, but yeah, more of this information is going to come out. You know, look what's happening under the pyramid. If they find whatever is down there, a type of library that has these ancient teachings as well, because this is ancient teachings, Emery, and I think we have lost this type of teaching and technologies that go with these teachings. So I think soon that information is going to come out with these lost ruins that people are finding right now in our oceans and under the pyramids, ending with S. A lot more pyramids around the world with more information.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this, JP. As you know, you were one of the first people to learn about this and notify our teams back in the day, and then it finally came out publicly. You know, I knew about this back in the early 90s because of my involvement with the archaeological expeditions. Um, I didn't go over there, but I was part of analyzing the stuff that they brought back, especially all the pictures and videos using these special scopes and snake scopes that are a mile long, fiber optic cables, and we saw all this going on out there. On one of my expeditions in New Mexico, I'll even let this out, that we found under a pyramid type mountain out there, an ancient burial ground that was used by the Europeans and others who have taken stuff from Egypt, I'll say, without getting into it. And there were similar columns when we did the underground low volumetric wave pattern stuff that we had way back then, super classified, by the way. That's how we found all the tunnels from Mexico from the drug cartels back in that day. And we did have very similar things going on, and they were 300 and some meters. I'm trying to get that paperwork out to see if it's the exact same meters down. I think it was 638 feet or something. But I'm going to look at that. But it's interesting that all this is now coming out, which we kind of knew about. And JP, it's not just you know it's not just the Giza pyramids. Like you said, all the underwater stuff that you're really well aware of is also pretty fascinating. What do you think about the one off of Cuba there?
I think there's something good going on there. I don't know if I can talk about it, but
Okay.
they found some good shit there. That's what I can say. Good stuff that resonate with the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, Bimini, and of course off the east coast of Cuba, and that's been found, I think, over a decade, and no one talks about it. We do have technology to go down there. You can't can't dive it. It is, I forget how deep it is. It's over 800 feet for sure, the top of it. But there are some pictures online, but they take them right offline as soon as they get posted. I don't know, they get them off there, but there's a lot of amazing private amateur submariners that get hired, and a lot of these other scientific expedition people that are hired by billionaires to go, they just want to find out what's going on. So I think a lot of that's going to be exposed now that they're exposing finally after forever. They knew about this 30, 40 years ago. And I think they were just trying to find out, who's going to be in charge of that, and what is the, why is it there? How does it work? And this is going to be great. There's going to be so many different takes on this. One of the great things I loved was they did find like a type of sarcophagi, like we did find in New Mexico, the big 33-foot long sarcophagi with the being in there in stasis. So I think this is another activation one that they're going to be finding out soon, that they're all over the place.
Yeah.
And just like JP explained, how these soldiers are in these beds bilocating, while these beings have been here thousands and thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of years, in stasis, and they can reanimate, reactivate that body, and zap back their consciousness into these bodies. And we are already on that level, as JP has said, and I've seen it too myself with the consciousness. assisted technologies, and also the consciousness being bilocating and removed and actually put into bodies like you see in the science fiction movie Avatar, which is not science fiction. It's really been done before.
So, and all these ETs working around the clock with us, you know, and they look just like us, you know.
Yeah.
These beings that I don't know if it's a technology that they have that they telepathically talk to you, but I think it's a device that they carry that can transmit these frequencies that can you can communicate telepathically with them with the frequency that they give out, and you receive, and then you could talk in your brain and they can really understand what you're saying because that frequency is bouncing back and forth from your forehead back to them. And it's a type of technology, you know, it's really interesting, the technology that these ETs have, and they're sharing with the military, also with governments around the world. So it's amazing the things that we're finding, Emery, and I'm really excited. This year is going to be a lot of revelations. I think so.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and the telepathy thing is going to get better. You know, I've been hardcore, you know, training our teams, our close knit team here on getting better at that because it's moving in that direction. And I want everyone to be already doing it before it just comes. And there are going to be technologies, like JP said, that are going to assist with the of moving from the vocalization into telepathy. And that's going to be really helpful for a lot of people that can't talk and a lot of people that have hard times communicating with traumatic brain injuries and other things. So I think this is going to be helping a lot of patients around the world, and it's the clearest, you know, form of communication. And you know, I'm trying to still get people together and get a class going for that. But right now, we're like so focused on our in-house people because the more we do that, the more people that will be out there educating the world. So we start with a small team of 10 people. We teach them how to do telepathy. They teach 10 people each. People teach 10 people each, and so forth. You know how to do that. But when the time comes, it's going to be a quick shift too. So most of us that are already getting ready for the split here of energies of consciousness with the planet, this new ascension thing that's coming up, you know, that's going to automatically kind of activate most of your brain that you haven't been able to use, which has to do with telepathy, anti-gravitic things, believe it or not, you know, right, JP? There's something to look forward to.
You move a lot of things, and I guess the art of thinking things and making them come alive with your mind. You know, that teaching is gonna teach a lot of people how to behave around the world, how to be positive. There's a lot of negative people out there right now in this world, you know, and they don't want this information to come out to the masses, you know, and we have to just keep on fighting and keep on rolling out the information, you know, because there's going to be people out there that because of financially they don't want this information to come out, and that's totally understandable in their perspective. But I think that this world is changing, you know, and we're in it, you know. Like I said before, every 100 years is a new batch of people, you know. So we're here for a reason. We're chosen on this beautiful time for a special reason, is to bring this knowledge and leave a mark on Earth, you know, leave a mark here on Earth about this information and share to the future generations that are going to come about this. Like you said, this is going to be replayed millions of times. So to those that hear this in the future, we told you.
It's going to be an amazing thing. You know, I love working with the new whistleblowers and the new informants and the new intelligence people behind the scenes, because they were inspired by people like myself and others, over the age of 50 here. A lot of us have to pass the baton to people like JP, who's picking that up. And, we'd love to have people that are younger, that are, had experiences that they can, show their DD Form 214 or whatever, that, have these experiences that come forward and be credible, and to teach the younger crowds, because there's a lot of charlatans out there claiming they're this, that, or the other. Which can be a bad form of disinformation for someone that, if you're following them for 10 years and then you find out, oh gosh, this was just a big scam. It really damages the people that really do have credibility and that actually have been in these projects and developed things and had their own experiences. So I'm really happy that JP's coming forward, and JP knows a lot of people too, that he's inspiring, that follow in his footsteps as well, and so forth. And the thing is to keep the education going, because the next round of people that are being brought into this world right now are the ones who are going to be taking care of us, and they're going to have to make the right decisions. And the only way they can make the right decisions is if they're given the truth. It has to be what really did happen. And that truth is very important, because that lays down the foundation for a new platform of education that is based off of fact and correct sciences and the correct history, which is important, because without the correct sciences and history, or the incomplete sciences and the incomplete history, it will lead people off into forming their own types of non-functioning and non-serving platforms. If they're of self-service, it doesn't really do much for the greater galactic group of extraterrestrials that are here that are helping us. So, like JP said, there is a negative aspect of negative people out there looking for money. We're talking not just on a small little group of people that are conscious here in the United States. We're talking about huge organizations, huge military terroristic factions that JP and I deal with on a daily basis that are quite evil. And like you can see, they do have the power to disable us temporarily. And we do have great protection. I don't want to turn it into a negative nanny thing, but we do have great protection. And I can't even imagine the amount of tax that I have been under in the past, 30 years, 40 years. Same thing with Marla and my team. They all have been here. We've been completely almost dead, and we are still here. And that shows you that they're not as strong as they think they are. I was looking through back through my cosmic disclosure interviews of people I've interviewed, and looking through that was it was a little sad, because a lot of people on there either disappeared, died of unknown causes, and some just kind of died because they caught a pathogen or a contaminant, or they were given cancer by a scalar weapon, right, JP?
Yep, exactly. Thank you, by the way. I called you in the hospital, and I felt the protection. Leaving from the hospital, I had two guys. Exactly. They went like this to me, and
I had you covered.
Started heading back home. So appreciate that. The doctors were kind of scared when they said everything is negative, so you can go home. So they did find something, but something made everything disappear, and I appreciate it. You and Commander Salamander, appreciate it. Your team is amazing. So I just want, in front of everybody, appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome, JP. You're part of our team now, and we're always there and got your back. You did have some bad infiltration there, and we had to jump on there with the team, Commander Salamander, Darla, and I, and we had to hook up and connect with our extraterrestrial group too. And it wasn't just us. We had a good group over there, sent over some protection for you.
JP,
And,
you're off the hook, bro.
Off the
You got
hook.
a healthy bill
What
from
the
really you're back, and it shows your commitment and your dedication to the mission first, right? Because you just were released from the hospital and here you are. So we just give you so much gratitude, and you are in the fight for disclosure, brother.
Let's do this. Let's keep on rolling the wheels, until it falls off. Like you said, people do disappear. People do. I had already a couple friends that they're deceased, that have talked to me about the information, and right now, it's kind of sad. We go through that stuff, as soldiers, we go through those things. We want the right thing to come out, and we stand from against the negative things that are happening to humanity, and like I said before, there's good cops, there's bad cops, there's bad doctors, there's good doctors, there's good soldiers, and there's bad soldiers. But I guess that's how yin and yang works.
Right. Yeah, you got to have that, with everything. It's kind of like there is no good and bad, like in the law of one, but at the same time, the yin and yang is there for that neutrality. And I really do believe that. I think opposites are good for,
Growth.
getting your day going and realizing that and preparing for it. Another thing is you can't aimlessly, walk through a briar patch and not think you're going to get stuck. You should just be aware of that and kind of understand that energy, and be okay with that negative energy, and if it does come at you, we deal with it, as you saw how we did this morning, JP.
We never die, so you can't be scared. We can be deceased in this realm. We can be eliminated in this realm, but we never die.
Never. It's an ongoing thing. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because the timelines shift so often too. Where's another timeline? Maybe you did die. Now you're on another timeline. And that's the whole longevity thing too, especially with cellular regeneration, where we're really looking at DNA and telomeres and getting really into the RNA and chromosomes, like our system does. We go all the way down, right, JP? Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. So we can look in there, and we can look into you and see, a future, a past. Sometimes when we're checking your DNA with our system, the Emery Star NLS system, you can check it out on emerysmith.co. I'll put a comment down there in the box, and we can actually look in the lineage and the DNA and say, oh my gosh, you've actually had this pathogen passed on to you from just your lineage. You didn't pick it up when you're, vacationing in Mexico. It wasn't from the water. No, it was actually because you carry this with you for life, and your dad carried it with him, and his grandfather, and so forth. This is something that is a new breakthrough that we've stumbled upon while treating pathogens that are in the body. And that
sometimes, Emery, for that, sometimes you guys as doctors, you guys have to break it, right? After you break it, find a way to put it together, and then put it together intact and new in order to work perfectly. And that's how our body is. Our body, sometimes you have to break it up into little pieces in order to put it back together little by little. And that's connecting with people that are around you, people you meet, the negative, positive, and all that interacts with each other of constructing yourself in a better way in humanity, in this world, in this realm, in this time frame that we're in. So I'm glad you brought that up. That's amazing.
Yeah, very beautifully said, JP. Surrounding yourself with like-minded people and that are not sucking you dry energetically because they don't believe you or they're just unhappy with their lives, is what we see. A lot of attacks from individuals that are asymmetrical, that are not, the serious attacks from other, larger entities, I'll say, is usually, they have their own thing going on, or they've been taken over by AI. AI now has the ability to work through FM frequencies to manipulate psionic waves and stuff like that. So these are other things that we're, getting together, like the nanochemical green, to help block some of these attacks, or at least, lower them so they're not as deadly as they are, which we have been able to do. And I probably need to send you a new refill, JP, so I'll do that this week. And I know a lot of you on here. I see you guys on here. Hello, everyone. Let's just check in real quick, JP, with everyone. All right. Hey, Kim. Love to see you. And, of course, we have Lynn. Welcome. Zara, welcome. Dwight, how you doing? Juliana. Corazon, good to see you. We had a question. Kim was wondering, are you ever going to, show your face? I mean, I'm sure down the road you will. Not now, but
Yeah.
what do you say to that?
Sometime this year, I will reveal my face. I just have to have the green light and make sure I'm in the right timeline in order to do that.
Yeah.
It's just I'm waiting for the right timeline in order to release my face. So everybody's on the same wave, so I have to be on a slightly different wave in order to release my face. So it's gonna be good,
Take your time.
I'm going to Japan, I'm going to Europe, and it's really tough walking around with this cartoon helmet,
Right.
But it is what it is. I'm as soldiers, a soldier is always a soldier, and you're told what to do and how to do it for a reason, So they told me to wear this, so I have to wear it, and comply because I go through a lot of things,
Well, it's the right thing to do, JP, and it's the safety feature, and I totally get it. And I love your terminology, when it's the right timeline. And that's what everyone needs to understand. When you're looking for answers to something, it's when the right timeline is. And that has a lot to do with your being an interdimensional being. You're all interdimensional beings. You just don't know it yet. You're everywhere all the time. And I think this is something we're going to be talking about more in the future. Let's see. We have
safety first.
Dan Alt and the Alt family. I'm sure Dan and his wife are there. Hello, Dan from Colorado. Valerie, welcome.
I love the helmet.
Yeah,
it's a good helmet. It protects me. I got stuff in there that protects me from energy when I'm talking on stage. So sometimes I do get attacked. So this helmet protects me. I got like a metal ring inside of it and a metal ring outside. And I got also something else that was put in there for me for protection. Emery knows probably what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's just when you're on stage giving out this information, you have to be really, really cautious and really protective because there's people out there that really want to take you out,
Yeah, and we're not talking about, BB guns here or weapons that you're used to, like regular rifles and guns. It's all about frequency. The new wars are very Cold War. They're wars that are fought behind the scenes using biological agents, like they're doing with all the COVID stuff, and they've already done it. And also with knowing what lineage you have and what you're susceptible to, and implanting frequencies of bugs like Lyme disease, cancers, pathogens such as viruses, bacteria, and parasites, and even amoebas. Amoeba gingivalis is an easy one that you can pick up now. They're poisoning a lot of the salads at restaurants that go out from the farms. And amoeba gingivalis, if you just have a small cut in your mouth or you're having some bad dental work, we're going to have a big episode on this in the following weeks with a couple of dental guys. And we had to go through it with Darla, actually. She had a bad tooth one time, and one of my other colleagues has it right now, and just an opening in there, and you get that in there, and it gets up in your brain, it eats your brain and you die. So we have, of course, things like the Nano Blue that you can get on my website. Maybe you could put the exact link of where they can buy that Nano Blue, Cameron, and also put the scan up there so they can read about it. Click on that link on the shop there so they can see that. So these scans also, it's not just a scan. We're actually treating you 5 times. And then a week later, part of the scan is what we call a destruct method. So we actually do the scan, treat you 5 times. It takes us about 1,800 pages to 2,500 pages we have to read through. About a week later, we call you up, talk to you for about 3 hours on a conference call about all the top 10 to 100 things that's going on. And then we do a destruct mode. And that's what we go into that amoeba. And our pilots like Darla will go and home right in onto that cell, zoom right in like you're zooming on a picture on a cell phone, and zap that little critter, and it's out. So these things we're set up, for failure with all the 5G, 6G, 7G coming out, especially Wi-Fi. Now we know they can transmit through FM radio. What he has in his helmet will not allow that to happen. So this is one of the things that it's making a toroidal field umbrella just around him. So these attacks that come in will, basically be reflected back, and most of them actually are neutralized through the same wave, because the wave comes in and it mimics that wave, and then it goes straight and nothing happens. So these are also devices that people wear. Crystals are a big thing, special metals, which I can't talk about. And it's all going to be, in the future, Darla's developing a special suit and a special helmet and hat. Also fashion stuff, because Darla, she's not a big fashionista, but she just wants something to protect her from that 5 and 6G, because it really can do some serious damage to the body. So Nano Emerald Green, you can check that out on emerysmith.co. That helps block those energy waves, not 100%, but you take 1 ounce a day, and it really helps. I know there was a cool commercial, not a commercial, it was like a couple people actually did that. Michelle, I think it was Michelle DePaul that did that. Post that video up there when Michelle put it next to the Wi-Fi and the Wi-Fi went dead. She put a bottle of the Nano Emerald Green next to it. I thought that was kind of funny. But these are the attacks that JP and I are talking about when he goes up on stage now, being the forefront, in a lot of these talks, is you got to be really careful. Agents are out there, believe it or not, in the audience with direct energy beam weapons.
Yep.
They're doing it, right, JP?
Yeah. You can totally feel it,
Yeah. And they also sometimes come in there when they know where you're going to be at on stage or backstage. Of course, they do have satellites that are everywhere all the time. We have satellites that can pretty much be anywhere in the United States within a couple of minutes, and then in the world within 15 minutes. And those are old generic satellites just for visualization and stuff. And people now can, rent these satellites and for just visualization of some areas. They're not allowed to go over Antarctica though, for the civilian satellites. Isn't that funny?
That's hilarious. There's gonna, I know there's probably people here that probably have been interrogated, right? I feel that energy. They probably have been interrogated because of their information or probably their experiences. And if you have been interrogated before, you gotta be calm. When they take you to these white rooms and ask you questions, interrogate you, you have to be calm and talk to them in a normal way. There's a certain way you have to talk to these individuals that interrogate you, and when you have these experiences and you have these contacts with these ETs. So for those that are going through that right now, I'm sorry you guys are going through that, but I just felt a surge of energy that there's a couple people that have been interrogated here, and as Emery or me, just you have to be calm sometimes when you go through these situations because it's really stressful because you don't know if you're going to come out from it in the right way or what's going to happen to you after. So just be calm, you know.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna.
Yeah, I mean, before you start that, thank you, by the way, Cameron. Yeah, I think it's going on. You know, it's happening more often, and it gets very scary, you know, for people, especially your first time with contact, and then all of a sudden people are following you, and people are like, you know, checking your mail, and they're like, you can tell, you know, the phone's clicking when you pick it up. Why is it clicking? Do you hear someone else's voice? I mean, my gosh, how many times does this happen where the agents cross lines and it's so screwed up, and you can actually hear the agents talking like, oh, do you
Yeah,
think he's going to talk about this? It's like, you know, I can hear you. You guys really suck. Get your frequencies right. You know, it's kind of, it's
yeah,
obvious. I just like, we treat it, our team treats it as we're always being filmed, always
yeah.
being, you know, it's so what, you know, we're in that position on this echelon here. It's very high up that uh, that we're expecting to be. I mean, in the earlier years, like you said, JP, man, it's very scary. You got to be calm, and you can tell them the truth, and if you don't want to, that's up to you. You know, a lot of them are just trying to find out. They can see through the neutrino light detectors that we have developed in space where the communication is going with the human and the ET. You know, like my girlfriend talks about with some of those programs, with those new systems, and they can actually know, okay, this person has definitely been contacted. You know, are they a hybrid now? You know, are they utilizing this human's body? Is that what they're trying to figure out? You know, is the ET taking over that consciousness of this individual? Did they do it willingly? Does the person even know about it? Did that person time jump and is somewhere else? ET is operating this body here. And when he's done, he leaves that body. That person goes right back into that body and starts right back where they left off. Maybe it was just
Yeah.
a small gap in what we call time, a minute or two, or maybe a week or two. It is a very interesting feeling when you go through this, especially when you remember the entire thing, or it's
Yeah.
played out live and you're actually there going, I got to get back home. I want to go back to my timeline. This timeline sucks.
Yeah.
And this is one of the best timelines, by the way. However we're manifesting it, however you're manifesting this is a really good timeline. It's easy to get
The
into.
top, Emery. This is the best of the best timeline. Where we're at.
It is. Please, guys, don't curse this timeline. It's a really good timeline. JP and I have bounced around timelines, and it's no fun, and it can get very scary. Getting back to your timeline is very difficult. You have to. Some people are gone for years, searching, like make believe. We'll just say a make believe scenario. We're here talking. All of a sudden, the timeline just shifted. You wouldn't know. No one would know. We're keeping talking. All of a sudden, I know. Uh, I never had that other dog over there before. Where'd that little dog come from? The furniture is a little bit differently placed.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I just time jumped. What the
That
fuck am I
sucks.
gonna do now?
And then the thing about it, Emery, you gotta really stay quiet about it because and
You
just
can't say
flow,
nothing.
you gotta flow with it and then try to come back to the same timeline. And it's oh man,
It's a pain in the ass, man. It's
yeah.
happened more this past year to me than ever in my life. But I just every now and then would happen. But I remember October, November, December, January was just, oh my gosh, I was just begging to get back and to find your way back. It's 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 a game you don't want to play.
It's like a needle in a
And like
haystack sometimes.
I think the hardest thing, JP, was acting like everything is normal in whatever timeline we're at, because you're still with the regular people that you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe some things have changed with relationships and stuff, and you're just kind of trying to find out, well, who the fuck am I in this relationship here? Am I the brother? Am I the husband, the wife, or what's going on here? And you can't
Yeah.
say anything, like he says.
I'm just happy we're in this timeline, Emery, and we're
Yeah.
talking and
Yeah.
we're connected. That's awesome.
It is, and I manifest, people like you to come into my life, uh, to help with the mission and back up the others also with everything that's going on. And we are space travelers, as you know, and we are time travelers, and these are things that we don't talk about because we're really trying to get you slowly the education and information out by doing these webinars every week and getting new information out and updating you on what we know is happening that we give, so you guys have the hope and understanding of, hey, there's a lot going on and it's looking really good. So for you guys out there listening, try not to time jump too much this year.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Kim says, so you retained your memory of the other timeline. So it doesn't always happen, and it's rare that you do remember. But for me, JP, it was dead on. I remember everything, and it was, and it's 100% real. This is not like a dream. It's not like you're taking mushrooms and laying down to a meditation. No, this is a real thing that happens. JP, tell me about your experiences with time jumping, and if you want to.
Do you see this
Like,
right
what's
now?
your do you remember everything or no?
Do you see this right now?
Yeah, I saw that. It's black.
It's like flashing.
Yeah, I see the all over. Yeah.
All right.
Isn't that crazy?
Huh?
I see. Plus, it's like turning color.
I don't know
I
what
mean,
the
on
hell's going on.
my screen, it's flashing and it's turning. It went from green to black.
Hopefully, I think we should stop
I
talking
just
about
time
timeline.
jumped. We just didn't make another timeline. Oh my god. Wait, let me check. A good thing. You're freaking out. A good thing, JP. I don't know if you do this, but here's my tips for if you might time jump. What you do is you go in your house, okay, and you find some secret places that you hide stuff. And what I would do is I had like a drumstick, like you play drums, a drumstick, and I would put this drumstick, these drumsticks in certain places of the house, and sometimes when you time jump, things change. So I'll go back and see, is the drumstick still there? Sometimes I'll write a time and a date when I put the drumstick there. Time and date things are very weird because you might time jump and then you're going to wake up. I mean, not wake up, you're going to just be in maybe 5 days ahead. One time I time jumped. There you go. So you place things around and then you write on them. And one time I was gone for 33 days, but no one knew I was gone for 33 days. They just thought I went up in the bedroom, walked back out of that timeline. Here I am looking down upstairs at everyone going,
I never told this to nobody, but I exactly do that, Emery.
You do?
Yeah.
Come on.
So whoever or how you knew or whoever told you how to do this, I told me too. So yeah.
I was working with these two extraterrestrial time physicians that were helping me get back. And they were super helpful, and they looked like a normal family. It was a young guy and girl with these two kids, and they were also able to be invisible, work in and out of the spectrum, or be visible, depends on what was going on. And they were probably, these extraterrestrials were the, I think, highest level of being able to be time jumpers and being able to manipulate all that stuff. But they were also like, I know it sounds crazy, they were like extraterrestrial time jumping hackers. And so they were working under Federation law to help people like us that accidentally jump here, jump there. And it was because of them that I got back, because I would not have been able, and God bless them, there are right now, because I thought they were going to come with me and follow me. But that was more of a rescue mission, I think, to get him back online. And I requested that I get back to my old timeline. I did not want to be there.
So this has I think this has jumped with me all over the place.
Yeah.
This one I always everywhere I move, I put it into a certain location. But what's good about this? What does this look like? Right?
It's a wand.
It's like a wand, right?
It is.
So remote viewing. I don't know if anybody read the last CIA pages or about how to use a tool to concentrate your energy to the end of a stick, right? And guess what wood this is made of? Holly is a Hollywood. All right. I've been well, there's certain things that people, when this information about remote viewing comes out, right, and how people use these different technologies and different techniques. It could be number techniques.
Yeah.
It could be a lot of other different things that you can implement in order to stay in the timeline or go to a different timeline. So a lot of people I don't think would understand as much yet. But there's going to be a lot of information coming out, and I'll send it to you. And I'm sure you have read these these unclassified papers that they release of how to use certain things in order to help you out.
Yeah, no, just, everything helps. That's why we form these alliances to share information, JP. The whole wand thing, it's in the future. There are wands. I mean, I've seen many in the future, humans and extraterrestrials with these wands, and they do look like drumsticks. Yes, confirmation complete. Thank you. So,
well, yeah, if you look in the Bible, these prophets with these staffs, they always have a staff or and I'm really I go to church, Emery.
Yeah, you're very religious, like us. Yeah,
I'm really religious, and I'm really happy about that, and I share that with everybody. I don't care who doesn't like it or don't like it. I serve a God that's the creator of this universe, and He creates these different timelines for us to learn and to grow out of. And to grow and to teach others to bring this information of love frequency and these new technologies that we're all building, that you're building, that I'm building, that other soldiers are building in their garages. A lot of good technology is going to come out, Emery, and I'm happy I'm in this timeline because it's gonna shake the foundation of people, and I can't wait for what you want to share about the nano. They really need to know about this information, and I'm pretty glad that on this timeline this information out.
Yeah, no, like everything, like you said, I mean, I completely 100% agree with all that. And the nanotechnology, the dragons are going crazy. Maybe Garlic. The nanotechnology is, and you're talking about everything is going nano. Everything. So the reason everything has to go nano is because AI is going nano. It works a lot faster than us.
Yeah.
And the nano particle, so the science behind the nanotechnology is a pathway for everyone that's listening to go beyond the nanoparticle. And that's what we're trying to get you to understand is there's a lot more beyond the Planck scale. Beyond the nano level, there's even more. It's like all this space is out there that we have to slowly, scientifically, with the help of the downloads and extraterrestrials, to get that information. Hey, hold on, guys. JP, take over. I gotta go get these dragons in.
No, you're good. Yeah, nano. It's amazing how nano everything is made of nanotechnology nowadays. Your blood cells, your frequencies, everything move in a frequency that moves everything that is nano. So if you move your hand In the fast frequency, you can go through the wall. That's the same thing with nanotechnology and frequency. How this affects you. You know, it can affect you if they use it in the wrong way. These technologies, but if it's in the right hands, if this is in the right hands, this can change the world. Your health will be 100% if it's in the right hands, and they share this technology with you and how to teach you how to meditate in a state of mind and put yourself in a way that you can receive the energy, you can receive the frequency of what's heading towards you in a positive way. So these technologies are gonna be all over the place. You know, we see them all over the place, uh, and we have to realize that we're moving towards that direction. We're moving towards that. AI, you know, is thinking millions of times faster than us. You know, that's why I always say, hey, keep AI in your pocket. You know, keep AI like your friend, because we don't know what might happen in the future with these technologies. You know, we just have to be in the right timeline and really look for people that are mastering these types of technology in order to help you prosper in life and also to prosper your temple, that is your body, your health. It's an amazing experience when they take you to these facilities, right? They scan you head to toe. They scan you. They scan each organ. They scan your brain. They scan your eyes. They scan your cells, your DNA, and these people, they know everything what you have, Emery, in these bases with the technology, and having a person that had the experience like you, Emery, with these technologies and bringing out to the public to help people get healed and not have the negative frequency. It's an amazing thing.
Yeah, it's and the great thing about it is it's all going in that direction with medicine. It's all going to be frequency based. It's going to go back to having apothecaries using ancient Chinese medicine, organic materials and teas. It worked for 3,000 years. It'll work again. When I met with Big Pharma a long time ago, my whole idea was, hey, I really think the patient should have choices, not you saying you have to take this. And they said, well, you know, we don't like what you're doing out there teaching this and that and the other. I said, I'll tell you what, there's so much money to be made at it though. They go, what?
Mhm.
I said, yeah, I mean, imagine if um, you have an antibiotic, let's say amoxicillin,
Mhm.
and then over here you have pharmaceutical grade colloidal silver, and that's like 2%, 1% more. And you give them a choice when you walk up. So you have Walgreens and CVS, you know, pharmacy. You walk up, imagine it's split with a glass wall. And there's one, you know, pharmacy tech here and one apothecarian tech here. And the body, and I've already done this study, so I know. A sick body, when it walks up to, and it has, let's say a prescription amoxicillin here, or it has colloidal silver here, the body intuitively would want this over here, the natural one first. 100% of the time, almost 100% of the time, it goes towards what, you know, the body subliminally is getting resonant energy from this apothecary saying, this is less, you know, and plus you have all these reactions over here, no reactions on this one. And what? I'm going to pay another $1 more? Wait a second. Smith, come here, come here. Do you have all the data? I say, yeah, I do. Oh, man, once they knew they can make $1 off someone more, then everything's okay. So I did the same thing with gas, coal, and oil a while back. And so it's the same thing. When you learn that they can, if you teach them how to run their business and how to, you know, because I know the chemistry too well, they'll do it, and that's still sitting there, and they're going to do it eventually. They're going to do this because they have to, because people are out there, replacing all their pharmaceuticals with natural, healing minerals and organic materials, and different types of teas and roots and stuff like that. Same thing with electric and power. I don't care if you're going to raise my bill a whole. Let's say my electric bill. Well, I don't have electric bills anymore because I'm complete solar. They pay me, so I can use as much electrical. I'm 100% solar. It's not awesome. And of course other things, but the whole thing with the gas bill and oil, they're like, well, if we do, what you're saying, we're going to lose all this. I said, no, you don't have to redo the grid. All I'm saying is go ahead and use my device, shut down a nuclear power plant, just use my device, keep the infrastructure. You still bill us. At least we have clean atmospheres. And that's a step forward, moving through secretly, getting planet Earth healthy again. Let's get planet Earth healthy again. And that was kind of my tactical way of manipulating and moving into these giant corporations, saying you still can do all this. However, you can do it cleaner and you still get to bill for it. And down the road, of course, that infrastructure will fall away. So goodbye to all the electrical wires and goodbye to all this, because they'll keep improving that long as they get to bill for it. Now, there are small places around the planet that you don't know about, and some that you do, that allow the countries to operate using half of the free energy devices and half on gas, coal, and oil. There was a country that tried to go full blown with it, and he couldn't do it because the place they were getting their oil from, they just noticed they started immediately just not buying as much oil. And that's a big mafia controlled thing. So they forced them back into it and getting rid of that free energy device. So I think it is going to definitely go out there. I 100% proven over unity free energy through when Nassim Haramein and Thrive 2 came out there with all their scientists, and they ran it through the ringer. I'm not the only one who has done it. There's a lot of other people out there have done it. I'm the only one who's come forward with this, with just a few others. They're all dead now. The Bedouini brothers were helping me during the project, and they killed them both on the same day. No one talks about it. Why? I don't know. They were slowly trying to get their information out, but they wouldn't give. They'd give you maybe 80% on how to build one of these systems. And, and I was warned, they were warned, do not talk about this on the internet. Do not hook this up to the grid, and do not, take it out of, your laboratory building. It has to be secured with security and stuff. And I had an amazing, huge laboratory in Fort Myers, Florida, back in the day. Then that we were making these things, and it took 3 years and millions and millions of dollars of my own money, and one of my other business partners was helping fund this too, who was dealing with quantum energies. So it is out there, and now they're getting, at least the hydrogen's coming, which is nice, clean fuel, hydrogen cars, hydrogen airplanes. I'm not so excited about these VTOLs or the air cars because they're battery operated. So yeah. I don't see myself getting in a battery operated air car that only goes 20 minutes. Yeah. I don't care if it has a parachute or not. And you did have a big, I don't know if you saw that that webinar I did with Paul Moeller. He's the inventor of the air car. His uses gasoline, which can be converted to hydrogen and have unlimited, energy to fly around. Nice. That's a little safer, and it is going that way. But a lot of mistakes have to happen first. It's kind of like those cars, like Zook and all these other cars that are drive themselves, remember? And one guy just got caught in that roundabout with the car. He's the only one in it. It says drive around a circle all day. Very scary stuff. And plus every lithium battery in every electric car is basically a bomb. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, Elon, what are you doing, Elon? Now, come on.
Look what happened in Vegas, right?
Yeah. Oh gosh. Well, we're getting away from that because now everyone knows.
I actually met that guy a couple times. That's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
But it is what it is, Emery. And that's what we have to do. Wow, that's an amazing drink. I hope everybody experiences.
Yeah,
that.
Nano Blue. I'll put it in the comments. I also have the Nano Green with colentrazines. This is I know it looks like some sort of antifreeze or something, but colentrazines bring light into your DNA and help basically protect it and repair it. Light to light. Colentrazines were developed by one of the most oldest ancestors here, the jellyfish here on planet Earth, which are extraterrestrials along with the octopi. So these drinks have a formulation in there, not only with pretty much everything the Nano Zinc has, except the methylene blue, but it has these colentrazines. So if you have this up to a black light, it starts glowing. Then you can see them; they're active. I usually ship these with a black light. You just do 1 ounce a day.
It's awesome. I went to the hospital this morning. They thought I had something. They checked my blood, and then everything disappeared.
Miracles every day. Miracles every day. I love it. Let me find that website. Well, I'm just glad you got out of there. You threw us for a scare there, but you know where it came out of. Your hit came out of Redstone, actually. So someone from Redstone doesn't like you. You know what I'm talking about, right? Redstone Arsenal. Yeah, look that up. Yeah. There's always somebody that, or they're just trying to figure out if their system works.
Yeah, they're always trying to figure out if their system works with us, huh?
Yeah. I guess we're tough enough to be the lab rat sometimes.
I guess.
Yeah.
And then, also the spiritual realm too, man. It's getting crazy.
Oh yeah. Yes. Yeah, that.
You got things poking you in the middle of the night out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You look, you think it's the dogs, and it's not the freaking dogs. You're like, come on, let me sleep.
Yeah, it's been happening a lot, and you're like, and that's when they're kind of shifting transdimensionally in and out of this dimension, so you can't get a beat on them.
Yeah.
So they'll give you they'll step on you, give you a little poke, and I feel the same thing. We're definitely gonna have to talk a little bit more off camera, JP, because it's happening so much. I'm like, oh, how'd the dog get in here? And I'm looking, someone else is in here.
So in Sedona, I was there recently.
Yeah.
I was sleeping in this room, and they took my army chain and brought it to the back, right? and then let it go. And I thought it was a dog, and it was not the dog. And then it poked me, and then went like this to me. And I'm like, I started praying. That's the first thing. Jesus.
Yeah.
But these energies, you can't pin them out sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, you have to call on love and light of the Lord Jesus Christ and God, and you really have to make those affirmations that you are not allowed to be in this body. I'm busy. I don't give you the right to be here, manipulating me, doing whatever you got going on here, giving me a sickness or whatever. So it's one of those things that, like you said, demonic attacks. Not only are JP I are under these severe demonic attacks. So is Darla. it's also, it's hard to talk about because, people think you're crazy. It has to do with sometimes they're going to go after the closest one next to you.
Oh yeah.
Maybe they'll do it to my business partner. Maybe they'll do it to my dog or Darla's, family, or, pretty much my family's almost gone here. And I have just a couple people left. And, I used to distance myself from people so no one would get hurt. I actually would break up with people. I would break up with family, friends and stuff, just so I was getting so hard attacked. Go ahead.
No. I'm just feeling this energy. I don't know if you see it.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, it's all well, I see it on your left side, which is your right, but yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, my right side. Yeah.
Yeah, you're glowing. They're here. It feels like a good light, not a bad light. So yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, I see it. See that, people? Look at this. It's actually materializing right next to him on video. Yeah. Yeah, take a look at that, everyone. You can't make that up. These energies are very, very evil. And if you don't know how to handle it, you can easily go south. I talk to them just like I talk to you, and they don't scare me at all. I have no fear. It's upsetting, of course, because you're just trying to get through, get through your mission in your day, and there's multiple facets to being attacked by these types of demonic energies, and that also come from sometimes other. I hate to link like extraterrestrials with demonic energies, but all I'm saying is,
Yeah.
I just want to interject real quick. I think it's really important to have spiritual practices, spiritual type of clearing. So when you have any type of negative entities that are unseen, I mean, we literally could see something going on next to JP's helmet there. It looked very, it was almost materializing. So if you have a really negative feeling of unseen negative entities, unseen negative influences, call in your support, call in the reinforcements of the higher dimensional beings of your spirit guides, and say, God, creator, source, great spirit guides, I'm calling upon you, help me do clearing. And there's many different ways you can do that. You can modify it to work for you, but just call in the love and the light of God and the assistance from your spirit guides to clear out that negative energy. Like Emery said, you do not have the right to be here. You need to. There's nothing that you can do. I'm a powerful being, and you are not welcome here. And of course, when we feel the good vibes, when we feel the positive energies, we know those are our angelic beings, and those are our spirit guides that are working with us. And we're just we're so thankful that we have the ability to show up and do the right thing when we're confronted with these type of intrusionary forces. And you got your helmet that's protecting you, but you also got a lot of angelic, spiritual. You have so much protection from your spirit guides, and we thank God for that, JP.
Is it okay? I'm gonna do a frequency reset real quick. Hold on. All right. Thank you.
yeah, is that the FLFN one, or what's this one? That's the I've used that before. Where'd you get that one? that the ET one? ET's
I
gave
think
you that one?
that's an ET one. I can
Yeah,
play it
ET
again
gave
if you
that.
want.
Yeah, I
Ready?
got gifted that from ET once before.
Ready?
Yeah. Mm.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. Thank you, JP, for sharing that. I love that stuff. You know, I'm really big on all the solfeggio tones, all the different, tonalities out there. I would be careful playing them off of internet and YouTube, but they have also encryption, so it might say it's doing this. It's a hard one to decipher. I know Darla's always pulling stuff offline, and I'm like, not that one.
Yeah.
There's different ones out there. You're just going to have to look for yourself. I don't have something yet to decipher that. I do it because I can do it.
Feels good. Feels good.
Yeah, it feels good. It feels good. So we played tonalities throughout the night. I know one of my last viewers and good friends, Mary Edwards, was on here last time, and they were talking about a couple of these different pathways. I'm going to see if Victoria's on here. Victoria. So yeah, I mean, part of that, has to do with resetting multiple times a day. Don't you
Yeah.
think? It's part of our security. Everyone on my team, we reset, whether it's praying, meditating, or grounding. You know, I love grounding. I know that we're all so busy. I like to wear barefoot everywhere,
Oh yeah.
and as much as I can, and then especially when I'm out playing with the dogs in the yard or something, or the sun. The salt baths are great. The tonality is great. Far infrared saunas are great.
Oh yeah.
Detoxing. I'm trying to.
And the United States is great.
The United States is great.
Yeah.
JP is great. Commander Salamander is great. It's just it's one great thing. If you move forward and incorporate that into your lifestyle, a lot of these things are not able to actually hurt you or touch you. And if you command them not to, in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ and God, then they're going to have another problem.
Yep.
And I always call upon my ET family, and they're some of the strongest individuals here that can get things done pretty quick. Those things are manifesting easily by just asking for that assistance or help or whatever for your ET friends or the God that you choose to believe in. But yeah, I love it. I'm glad. I like it when Cameron jumps on.
Yeah.
It's
amazing.
it's awesome. All right, let me see if there's some questions. We're gonna. There he is.
Let's
You need
go.
material,
Let's
right?
rally. We're command center. This is the command center for the apotheosis because we are connecting with the divine. Man is integrating with the divine, and that's what we're doing. We are accelerating exponentially into a new paradigm, a golden age. And you know what? We have the right people. We have an alliance here. We have an alliance of, our heroes in the disclosure movement, and we are moving forward at rapid pace. And it's amazing to get all these updates. We do have some questions. You want to fire through these?
Yeah, let's do it.
You have some light behind you, Emery. I see that. That's awesome.
Okay, we have some question from Richard D. Priest Jr. about ETs, and maybe you could give us a little update on your encounters with ETs. If you'd like to share us, not limited to your own experiences of what's going on out there. And let's get this question. How do Emery, you want to read these? I'll just pull them up.
Yeah, pull them up. I'll read them out. How do I meet physically with ETs and inner Earth people to work on becoming ETs and ET civilization ourselves? Well, Richard, I'll take the first part of this and let JP add to it. When you want to meet with ETs physically, you first have to establish a relationship. You first have to make sure that you're aware of them and yet you're ready to accept them, Richard. You got to tell them, I'm ready for this and I've been preparing for this. And how did you do that? Well, you just talked about all these meditations, getting yourself centered, not having a chaotic life with all these things coming at you and attacks. You got to center yourself, being in the quietness of silence. Try being silent for an hour without thinking anything. And a good way to do that is to meditate. Now, your meditation can vary. It doesn't mean you have to do a mantra. Doesn't mean you have to do sound, or listen to, things like maybe you want to hear someone playing the singing bowls. Maybe you want to paint some art because then you're in your element. You're not thinking about anything. Everyone has their own little, nick for that. I used to do many different things to meditate when I was younger, whether it be feeding the animals on the farm or sitting and watching the sunset and sunrise every morning. I did. Another thing is I meditated because when I scuba dive, I used to also free dive so I can hold my breath for a long time when I was a kid in the lakes, and I would just sit on the bottom with all the fish and just be at peace. There's lots of different ways you can do this. Another way, which is, you guys not gonna believe this, but I used to race motorcycles, the AMA 600 Super Sport Division in College Station, Texas, when I was stationed at England Air Force Base, Louisiana. And for me, when I was practice racing, it was by myself, just me on the track. I was in my element. I never thought about anything else. And so it's about clearing the mind of all the backscattered crap that the media is trying to put on you too, and your life, everyone's life. We're all going through some crazy stuff. Everybody is. I don't care who you are. And there's always something. And that if you can clear that, get your mind clear, and then manifest that you want to do this, and then ask it out loud. Say, yeah, I'm ready for you guys. I don't have fear. I'm not going to be scared. Show me a way, you tell them, that you can present yourself to me that's safe and effective for you so you don't get hurt. Because it's a big risk for extraterrestrials to communicate with humans in 100% 3D. Now, I'm meeting with one and talking with one here this week. It's really a security thing. They're not bulletproof like everyone thinks. They still fall under the laws of this 3 dimension when they enter it, even though they came from 4th, 5th, 6th dimension. So remember that. What do you think, JP? I know you're going to go awesome with this because I love the way you talk about this stuff.
Yeah, just manage how you treat the temple that is yourself. What goes inside your temple? What you eat, what you think, what you see, what you hear, everything that comes in joints and affects your body in a physical way. You just have to manage it like with a love frequency. Everything that enters, it has to enter with a love frequency. With that's what these beings are trying to admit to us, a love frequency. We have to match it, learn how to match it, and depending what species are they, we have to match it in their way, in their tone, and understand where are they coming from. Don't show fear. Show a love vibration, a meditative state. And when I say what you put inside your body, what do you ingest to help your DNA, like the stuff that you're giving away, Emery. It's amazing how that can help communicate with extraterrestrials when you do it the right way and you do the right measurements. Nanotechnology can help you upgrade to a communicative state of mind in order to communicate with these certain
Yeah.
ETs or interdimensional beings. So it's an amazing ride to train this in your body, because the more you train, the more communication you're gonna have from different types of beings. It's like a level up, you know. So it's like rank, you know. The more you train your body, the more rank you have of communication with different types of extraterrestrials.
Yeah, absolutely. And all my products do contain ORMUS, orbitally rearranged monoatomic elements, and this is really important for connecting with ETs. We have, of course, the best ORMUS. I've tested over 350 ORMUSes over the past 30 years. And there's a lot of shenanigans out there. So ORMUS has all these platonic solids in them, and the most important thing is these types of minerals like palladium, the gold and silvers and coppers, and these things are not found in any food or anything. We have to rinse salt water over and over and over to get this solution out of this, which one of my great friends, Dr. Swaha, Ron Holman, who makes these ormus that we use in the nanofluid stuff from A New Alchemy, has developed probably the best way to process this, and the only way that I approve of, because of the way it's made. So being that, I just want to let you know that it has ormus and all those things, and most importantly too is it helps enzymatically clean out the pineal gland so you can start seeing again. And yeah, I know these are the things that some people you just can't see. And when this happens, you start having so much more dream time. You can. Some people are reporting that they can see in multiple different levels of light.
Remote view better.
You know,
Yeah.
all your remote viewing skills go off the chain. Your bullshit meter is 100% effective, which is important. And it's my little nerdy joke, but it really helps get the body back at its homeostasis state, whether you're detoxing from metals or bad food or from drug addiction or alcohol addiction. It really gets you back at that homeostasis, and is that buffer there to keep also that from happening again. Because it's the 4-state plasma water, all my products, we reach to the zeta potential. You can look that up. That'll make you go nuts. This means that it does form covalent bonds around the stuff that you take in, and it brings it through cell membrane, through the cellular nucleus, into the nucleolus and into the DNA, because it's nano. It's the only nano gold and silver and ormus out there, that works synergistically together with my special patented 0.02 nano zinc. And this is how we did it. And that's, you can learn more about it. On my emerysmith.co. I was actually typing all my products contain ormus, which helps clear the pineal gland. Was that is what I was actually typing when you said it. you were already talking about it. So
I'm sorry if I'm moving my hands. It's just I'm just doing the cleansing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah, and it's funny because they one of the things people are reporting to is they're able to. Oh,
They feel it too.
hey. Oh, go outside. Go outside. Go.
Yeah, Emery, you're talking a lot about the nano green and the nano blue. Let's play this because there's these molecules and all the products. There's a lot of ingredients in here that can protect the body from a lot of these whether it's Wi-Fi or EMF or different, type of frequencies, we can be protected. So we're going to show that while Emery is dealing with the dragons, we're gonna look at that and continue doing your clearings.
Yeah.
We're gonna show this real quick.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna do a little test.
Can you
In
hear
front
that?
of you, you have my router. I have my tri-field meter. It's a very expensive meter. It detects magnetic, electric, radio waves, EMF detector. So I'm going to turn it on. And as you notice, I'm pretty maxed out, even when I'm, a few feet away from the router. It's still pinging. So I wanted to show you this. Now, I'm going to show you what happens when you put emerald green in front of it. Look at that. It pretty much blocks the EMF in front of it.
Boom.
Yeah, that's my kitty. You see that, Gracie? Is that pretty cool or what? So, I am going to try Aquafarian Nano Blue. Again, you can see the reading. Look at that. It blocks EMF. This is crazy. How cool is that? You're seeing it for yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Now, for those of you that are skeptical about this, which is great, my husband brought up this idea. I have a smoky quartz sphere. This sucker's heavy. Solid crystal sphere. Because he was saying, what if the glass is just blocking the EMF? So there's your reading. Putting the sphere in front of it. It's maxing it out. That's crazy. All right, let me put this down one more time. Emerald green. Barely getting reading.
All right, so we get the point because that is an amazing testimonial by our good friend Michelle DePaul. And guess what? Imagine when you are metabolizing the nano green and the different nano products that you can get on emerysmith.co, because you're incorporating that and genetically and just physically. I mean, you're even out to your etheric body. I mean, you're being protected from negative frequencies, and we just got to stay on top of our game in every way possible. And this is one mechanism that we can do that. We can take the power in our hands by using these products. So check out emerysmith.co.
Yeah, thanks, guys, and thanks, Cameron, for putting that in there. We have tons of scientific data that we've tested it on, but it's so great to hear people that don't know what that is and they get it, or they got gifted it and they're taking it and they're like, my dreams, my hypnagogic state, I can control my dreams again. I can fly again in my dreams. I can, I know when someone's, trying to deceive me, it's really help. It even helps with relationships and stuff. It calms you. And, for people that are super active, like, JP, it gives him ultra awareness in his field. People like him benefit the most because, he has that inner intuitiveness and psychicness. And, he's connected to these realms and energies. And, the more you take this and, say you're on it for 3 months or a year, it's just part of your daily thing. You wake up, you take your, 5 or 10 cc's of it. for upkeep. That's all you need. If you have health issues, then it's different. We have you do like 1 ounce a day. That's 30 cc's. That's a shot glass. For the big bottles that are 1,000 mLs of Nano Blue, and then you have those smaller little vials. But yeah, and it's really great too for we have different sprays and different serums for anti-aging made with the Nano Blue. You can find online there. But JP, wow, it's like there's always something. It's an amazing journey we're on, and it's great because new things like you get these downloads, every now and then, and you're like, oh, well, that makes sense now. Sometimes we don't know all the answers, JP and I, but if we ask for it, we set it and we manifest it. Manifesting health and protection and abundance for you and your family are very important. And these things are also heard on multiple dimensions with your lineage and ancestors before you, right, JP?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I have a really good lineage. JP has an outstanding lineage connected with extraterrestrials and people that were in contact with extraterrestrials. And I'm just going to leave it at that, JP. I'm not going to, if you want, I know it's kind of semi-classified, but I think it's important people know that, your lineage and the people that you're associated with and contacted with is also a big deal with communication with extraterrestrials, getting back to Richard's question.
Nice.
All right, let's see. When can we get these in IV form? Definitely a great spa day wellness. Tiffany Porter asked. Well, we are working on that. We do have a couple companies looking at how to get this IV. We do the scan while you're on the Nano Blue. When you're doing your scan and treatments, you got to do 4 ounces in the morning of Nano Blue, 4 ounces at night. And then while you sleep, we do the scan. It takes 8 hours. You don't have to be present here. We can do the rest. And that higher the voltage, get your millivolts correct in the body, because your voltage is really bad all the time. It's going up and down just because of, the electronics you're in front of, or maybe you're emotionally distraught, or you ate a big pizza or something, or you went out and got hammered the night before. All these things, affect your aura and energy levels. So, by doing these things and eating healthy, like JP said, and exercising definitely, if you can, your not just your physical body, but your mental capacity too, and doing these tests with every night, asking, for the extraterrestrials to go ahead and make contact. And they know if you're doing the right thing to try to get yourself in that state of mind to really have connections. And someone on here mentioned too, it's not always kicking the tires. Like we've had people come out and did C5 and they just want to kick the tires and get a photo and sell it to the National Enquirer. You're never going to get it. You're just not going to get it. You're not going to get the picture. They're not going to contact you. You're probably going to be put on a ET red list. Just joking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not fair. And when you're there and you're open heart and you want to serve, maybe you want to know something. Maybe like when I'm writing my formulas, I sometimes I get stumped and I'm like, I really need help with this. I can't get through this algorithm. And somehow there's something that's shown to me, whether it be on a license plate, maybe it's someone I'm talking to, like in the Matrix, he sees the white rabbit. It's really funny, and they do communicate through you, through videos and through lights in the house and through radar detectors and through songs. Believe it or not, even songs. How often have you ever said, "Man, that song is definitely for me right now"? It just came out of nowhere. I mean, these are things. I love it when you're thinking about someone and they call. Like I could think about Cameron or JP or Darla, and boom, they're calling right now. It's this telepathy is real, and the more you start practicing with that, the more you get better. Even during commercials, if you're a TV watcher, have a deck of cards there, and put your hand on the deck, and start with just 5 cards, or 3 cards.
Yeah.
Work your way up, right, JP? Remember, this is a fun thing we used to do back in the day.
Back in the days. and then do the same thing with colors, you know.
Yes, colors, definitely. So these little exercises really help you tune in, but you got to do it every day. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm just going to do it on the weekend." It's something that you should just for fun, keep doing that. Even if you get it wrong, keep doing it. It's there's no wrong answer to this, and you'll figure that out later. It's about recognition of that you're wanting to do it, and it's being observed that you're really trying.
Nice.
Was there another question, a salamander?
Yeah, we got another one in regard to just kind of going back a little bit to one of the main topics about med beds. So we have a couple of questions. One from Dwight.
Yeah.
Dwight has a question. Let's pull that up and you can cover it. Both of you guys get your comments.
Hey, Dwight, how you doing? Dwight is a great friend of mine, great supporter. He's a lawyer up there in New York. How can we research the companies involved with MedBed Technologies and verify that this technology is actually being released and not being hoarded only for the wealthy or those in the know? Well, there's a couple. I know there's a woman out there taking people's money. She has her own website with these med beds and stem cells, and she's a complete fake. And it's really bad scam going on. I get so many emails about that. Companies involved with MedBed Technologies, there's companies hiding under companies hiding under companies. So there's not going to be like the real ones. You're not going to know who those companies are. Now you have like regular kind of med beds that are like infrared lights and stuff. You can lay in these big eggshells, or they're harmonic eggs and things like that. But they're not the real med beds that we're talking about. All the med beds that are out there definitely have some form of something that's going to help you. There are med beds only for the elites, 100%. Right, JP? What do you think?
Yeah, 100%. They have their stuff, you know. It's like not everybody can own a Lamborghini, Emery, you know.
That's right, exactly. And I think that's a great way to put it, JP. I mean, I know of many of these med beds, and I don't even have access. I don't make a lot of money like I used to. That's for sure. And I think being part of it is the only reason why I was able to, experience these things and be initiated into that, because I was helping these people. People like, even Elon Musk has his own bed. Donald Trump has his own bed. RK is really big on this.
A lot of people. I'm sorry I cut you off.
No, you're good.
But I want people to understand the reason why we know this technology. When we entered into the military, I was signed $22 million of devices and things and Hummers and all that under my name. I don't know if that happened to you as a commander, or you get signed all these equipment, so you know about it. You experiment these equipment because you're in the military and you are allowed to. But once you hit the civilian sector, it's a different story.
Yeah.
We still have access because the soldier is always a soldier.
Yeah.
But it's a limited time sometimes. It could be a couple like 20 to 40 minutes or 1 hour, or if they put you in one of these devices, one of these beds, and they want you to experiment more, it's a hit or miss, but for the civilian sector, there's going to be a lot of things coming out, different parts or different pieces of this technology. It's like taking apart a Lamborghini. You take the engine part away, you take the muffler part away, you take the wheels part away, and it's given to the civilian sector in pieces, not as a whole piece. So different pieces can work on the body in a different way. That's why all these people from different countries are coming out with the healing of diabetes, the healing of certain types of cancer, because they're taking apart these beds and they're just spreading them out, and people are putting their 2 cents into it on this technology. But the real beds, like Emery says, the elites, they do have them,
Yes.
and It is what it is, you know. And
Yeah, it
they
is.
can't fall. They can't fall in the wrong hands. That's the thing. That's the main thing. Can't fall in the wrong hands.
Right. So yeah, I mean, it's a catch-22, like you said. These beds, my scanning system, we're making into a bed. So that's what we're doing, this next couple of years is getting. There are companies out there that want to use my scanning technology to put in their bed. So not only can they understand and see what's in there, but at the same time treat it while observing the patient. And instead of it taking to take 8 hours for the scan, it'll be like 15 minutes. So I think by sharing technology with the right people, I think it's something that everyone's going to be having in access to, either right down the street, or they'll be at the airports, they'll be at the train stations, they're going to be at your own home, because everyone needs to be their own medical practitioner, and everyone needs to learn biology. When I was meeting with extraterrestrial children at the age of 8 to 10, they already knew everything the highest IQ person on the planet would know. They were all doctors and lawyers. They knew everything about everything, especially about the body, their bodies and your bodies and other beings' bodies. They're like a veterinarian on steroids. And I love veterinarians so much. I worked in the veterinarian medicine for almost all my life, because a doctor, like say a heart surgeon, he's specifically, all about the heart, and needs to be like that. He's specific. That's a specialty. A veterinarian's got to learn all the different species on the planet.
Yeah.
So imagine if they were just taught just parrots, and horses, and learn a human. We're talking at 12 years at least, and you're still learning after that. I'm still learning today. And they go through all of them. So I love about the multi-species thing, because I had to learn about multi-species, after I got out of school in the military. And it was really neat to understand all the different dynamics of a living creature. It's so different,
Yeah.
and they're still so effective in living here on planet Terra. Yeah.
And you guys yeah, being a vet, it's amazing because you also have to study brains that are bigger than us, like the great blue whale, right?
Yeah.
Brains that are so complex that it resonate like with ETs and different types of extraterrestrials and all that. So yeah, it's it's an eye opener for a lot of
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. Cameron, put up a picture of the barrel-eyed fish. I think that's a great one for people. Not many people know what that is. And it's one of the fish where they're transparent, they're gelatinous, like one of the extraterrestrials I talked about on Cosmic Disclosure. You can see their brain and their eyeballs. It's funny.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's called a barrel-eyed fish. They got some funny pictures on it. But yeah, so I think that's all fascinating. The question here from, hey, David Carey from Australia, another one of my best friends there. JP, are you still getting med bed treatments?
I can't talk about that now.
Yeah, okay. No problem. And
But yeah, in a way,
yeah.
yeah. It's a treatment, it's like anything else,
Yeah.
It's a type of treatment, it's not a
Sure.
one ticket thing, you have to realize once you start the med bed, it's not just once, there could be maybe in the future, or they already have it, that it's just once, one treatment is enough. Wow, look at that fish.
That's a barrel-eyed fish.
That's an easy headshot right there. You can tell what the brain is.
And there's lots more creatures like that. Yeah, go ahead, JP. Yeah.
So it's multiple treatments, multiple. So the metabeds, they see you just like we see that fish. It can see through it. It knows
See
the
right
part
there.
of the brain that is lit up, the part of the brain that is affecting you, the part of the body that is affecting you. So it's a treatment. It's a treatment that happens in layers. So depending if you have a Lamborghini medbed or a Honda medbed, you know, that's how it works, you know.
Right.
So we just have to, yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is putting the parts together, and they're slowly releasing certain things separately. Like you said, I might have the scanning and treatment part. This might have the body part, of the device. And I think because of what JP said at the beginning of this webinar, is looking forward to this huge jump in technology this year and next year. We're talking double what we have learned in 10 years in 1 year.
This
We're
is
going
gonna
to get
blow.
10 years. Well, do you agree, JP?
Oh yeah, totally. Especially with this new AI development type of
Oh yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send Cameron a video real quick. Let me see.
Okay.
If he can receive it.
Yep.
Commander Salamander. It's a good video of how our future would be if we interact with the AI in a way. Let me see if I have it.
Yeah, AI, man. I got to do a whole show on AI because it's getting so fast and so effective. It's faster than we can even imagine with computing, which is really going to help with medical devices, scientific devices, military applications. Are just insane.
I got this video I'm going to send to Commander Salamander.
Okay, yeah, he can post it up there.
And this is a quick video, but I'm sending right now.
Okay, sounds good.
Copy that. I'm gonna pull up a video as well. I sent you a video, JP, and I'd like to get your comment on it. I'm putting together a hypothesis and a theory of this phenomenon that I'm experiencing, and it has to do with UFOs. So I will pull that up. Did you send that? Yeah, okay. I just got the video, and I will. I'm gonna pull this up.
Yeah, sure.
I got to send it. Hold on a second here. So
this video I send you, right? This is how it would be if we interact with extraterrestrials and AI. How this timeline would be if everybody is in the love sync.
Oh, you're talking about that video with the? It looks like they're at Burning Man, but it's all ETs.
No, it's just how it would be if AI would
all right,
be.
Here it is.
Oh, AI. Oh, AI. Okay, gotcha. Got it. Cameron knows what I'm talking about. Let's see it.
I'm having a blast with you, Emery. Thank you for having me here in this show, and I'm happy that everybody's here with us. Sharing this beautiful information and sharing the truth. That's what everybody wants nowadays, and the proof. I got a DD-214. You got a DD-214. We are soldiers. We have been going through experiences. There's more soldiers coming out.
Together, we built a new future where natural and artificial minds collaborated. Earth was in harmony. But above the skies is where we became limitless. Luna was the first site for large-scale space engineering. It was from here we pushed onward. On the red soil, we built our first interplanetary city. New Olympus. Slowly, the essence of Earth took root. Mars was now our second home.
Have a lovely night.
In the asteroid belt, we tapped into nearly infinite material. we rose above the acid clouds of Venus, proving the harshest worlds could be reimagined. Callisto linked the moons of Jupiter, and with time, I emerged as a thinking city. Our path was no longer found. It was made. "40 kilometers beneath Europa's surface, the silence broke. On Io, we learned to channel the chaos. And some worlds were not found. They were built. Who knows where we'll go, or what will become? The rest lies beyond.
Yeah,
Wow, I'm speechless. Yeah, I mean,
that timeline would be amazing. You know,
that is a timeline. It's already happened. We just got to get there, and
Yeah.
it's very inspiring, of course, and hopeful. Everything in there, that technology, and JP knows this. He's seen a lot of it. It's already in existence.
Yeah.
And it's just, the AI, and now I see why you brought it in, JP, because the AI can get us there a trillion times faster.
Oh yeah.
Building things, figuring out things that we couldn't figure out. It would take us hundreds of years to do. And the AI really does have a really important point in this, and that is to help expedite, human civilization and mankind to go amongst the stars, and also, the longevity thing. There should be no reason why anyone, that's listening to this right now and in the years to come, they'll play this back probably in 5 years and laugh at us because it's already done. But we'll say we told you so, like I have done for many years since I came forward 8 or 9 years ago. Everything came true that I said. And now what he's saying right now, all this is definitely going to come true. The technology is already here. It's just implementing it in the right fashion and getting the raw materials and making and developing new materials that allow us to do it. It's a great video, JP. I really thank you for sharing. I'm going to have you send it to me when you get off, because I want to have that for my team here. I'm going to show them. Yeah, it's really cool. And I love it. Yeah, I love everything about it. And Cameron, you said you had one too?
Yeah, I want to show you guys just about a 30-second video.
Okay.
Not even that long. And get your comments and your take on it, because it has to do with our amazing viewers and attendees here that are participating.
Absolutely.
People are seeing stuff in the skies, sky watching all over the place. Even David Carey from Australia, he said he's seeing stuff with his binoculars. Do you want to comment on that, Emery?
Oh yeah, I've been talking to David Carey over in Australia. He's been sending me some stuff, and they released the TR-3B. It's replaced by another one now, another one. So that went to a civilian corporation. So you're going to see the TR-3B now a lot more often. Since I said that on that program a few months ago, it was like probably the next week, David Carey's going, I can't believe this. Everything you said was true. I see TR-3Bs every day over my house. They're flying around the island. They're not even hiding. I said, yeah. I mean, they're probably, Pine Gap's probably using it for something, or, one of the other military / civilian corporations out there, because they got rid of it. They have something. Yeah, I can't talk about that. I know JP can't talk about it.
And also they're finding new bodies rotating the planets that look like freaking ships, like in Saturn. I just sent Cameron another video. People are now finding these things, and contact is about to happen. I'm happy, you
Yeah.
know.
Fine.
This release of information, look what we're having with the JFK files, what we're having with the UFOs over there in Congress, all these soldiers coming out, new videos are popping up. You're gonna come out with more information with cosmic disclosure. It's gonna be a mind blow for a lot of people and a shocker for the religion around the world, not just Christians, but religions around the world. And also when they find out what's happening under the pyramids and what they're finding under the oceans, off the coast of Cuba, off the coast of Puerto Rico, off the coast of California, LA, it's going to shock a lot of people. And people need to have in mind to be calm when this information comes. Have the love frequency, because when this information comes, it's going to prepare us for a Star Trek future. So it's going to be amazing. It's going to be an amazing ride. I'm really happy.
JP,
Yeah.
are you ready for that video that you just sent in? We can show
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
All right, let's
Yes,
do
but-
it.
People are catching these videos and they're catching these different like types of they're zooming into the moon and they're seeing these new other little moons flying around our moon.
That's cool. Let's
Wow, that's
let's
great.
kind of let's look at that a little bit. You're seeing these little things, huh? They look like little planets.
Yeah, little moons in between. It kind of reminds me. Do you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of Pan, the interior part of a moon in Saturn. It's probably Pan that has a ring around it. I don't know if you could put it up, get it out there.
Yeah, the ring.
Pan. And it looks like a UFO, actually, this moon.
Oh.
And it's probably an ancient type of arc that is going around Saturn. So it's going to be a lot of revelation out there. And regular people like us, regular people, soldiers are going to bring this information out. It's not just NASA. So we got to get ready with all this information.
So,
Yeah.
JP, is that a craft or is that a satellite or some artificial structure or kind of a combination of things?
That is an extraterrestrial craft, and it's leaving away those lines around the planet.
Yeah. No, he answered it. I can't answer as much, but Emery knows more than me. So
yeah, most extraterrestrial craft do look like giant asteroids and look like planets. 100%. Yeah.
The builders of the rings of Saturn. So that's
dude, that's great. That's bombshell. I never thought of it like that.
Yeah, like JP said, Cameron, the rings you see around Saturn are from the exhaust from all those ships and all the debris. Yeah.
So if you look up Pan, the moon Pan is in between, I think the is it B or C rings? I'm not sure, but maybe A and B rings. Pan makes a wave. It makes a wave of
yeah, bring it up. I know you're talking about.
What is it called?
Pan, the moon Pan.
The moon Pan. I'll look it up. Well,
there you go.
We got some
send you a
images.
picture.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. This is crazy.
The Ring Makers. Yeah, that's a good book.
Yeah, the ring makers. Yeah.
So if you go, I mean, look, we can just pull this up right here. This is crazy. So this is a moon off called Pan. Do you know what its satellites a certain planet, or where is this?
Saturn.
That's around Saturn. That's in between the rings of Saturn, similar to the same one that I just showed you. With that is going together with the other one. So it's crazy, man. A lot of people are going to come out with this information.
Another thing, JP, we should bring up to everyone, because not everyone knows this. Not all moons are like perfectly sphere like ours. They're like some are jagged and have asymmetrical, parts about them, oval, and like there's so many different types. They look like sometimes giant meteorites are just kind of in that asymmetrical thing. And most of these moons are hollowed out and are used for storage, are used for there's cities in these things. These are different ports. Some are extraterrestrial made, some are not. Sometimes they'll find an asteroid or a vacant moon and drill it all out and make it's not like you see in movies like a giant industrial spaceport floating through space. It looks more organic, natural.
Like this is ancient technology.
Yeah.
Look what happened to the Statue of Liberty. It was copper, now it's green. Age can really mess things up and bump things up with these asteroids, little micro asteroids that hit these ships, and they can be hundreds of thousands or maybe millions of years old, and they can have life inside of it. So look at Phobos. It has a monolith, right?
Yeah.
And it's protected by an extraterrestrials that doesn't let nothing get near it,
Yeah.
It's amazing. And that's Pan, what it does to the rings.
Yeah.
Because right there you can see it has a gravitational pull to it. And it's amazing.
Can you explain that a little bit more in detail, JP? What are we looking at here? Because you sent this image. What is this?
That's what Pan does to the rings of Saturn, and creates also the rings of Saturn with these waves on the rings of Saturn. So astronomers can't understand why it's doing that and all that, and they investigate it. They send people out there, a joint missions to understand the process of these type of ships, and why is it doing that?
So there's a residual coming out of these ships, whether it's be minerals or things that are, going through portals into that moon, that ship, and it leaves these, these lines around Saturn from the ships, and that's a conglomerate of other, what they're saying, minerals and rocks and waste and all sorts of different things. I know there's some classified and non-classified stuff that's out there, JP, but I mean, that's all I can say for now. I think that's been proven now for a while, that this is not something that has to do with it didn't just form there because of an explosion off of Saturn or anything. This is in the makings because of the hexagon issue of the portal hexagon that is involved with that. You guys know about that?
What happened?
The hexagon.
And you also got the cigar shaped ships, that also play a big role on the rings of Saturn and the rings of Jupiter.
Yeah, if you want to bring up Cameron, if you want to bring up the hexagon on the North Pole of Saturn there, that's a giant portal. Here's a platonic shape here, right here on the poles of Saturn there. And this is, we've seen, like JP said, lots of ships have been out there. There's a 33-mile ship that's been there forever that's finally moved behind the moon now, and there's more that replace that one. These giant I don't know what you heard, JP, but this has been an ongoing thing. I know a lot of our colleagues talk about it in the past about, it's not an asteroid because it moves all by itself. And
even the second man that visited the moon, he talked about the monolith on Phobos.
yeah, that's right.
Wow, look at that hexagon. That's amazing, right?
Okay.
Yeah, there's geometry.
So you see the division part of the ring. That's where Pan is too. So
Yeah.
Isn't amazing when this information comes out. What we know, but we can't talk as much. Because
It's fascinating.
of the security of this nation and other nations, we can't say as much. But soon, this information, and probably this administration, is going to bring this information out about what's happening in our solar system with different types of soldiers and other things, that where the money is going, where they're finding the money is at. So it's going to be an exciting year for all of us, for soldiers,
Yeah.
for civilians,
Yep.
and for our solar system.
Yeah, I feel like, through all the disclosure going on with UFOs and ETs, that, is very promising that you're talking about, JP. Again, a lot of the disclosure is coming through the people.
Yep.
The people
Right.
are bringing disclosure.
Right.
And,
We're waking up.
it is an amazing time to be alive right now. And so I wanted to show you guys, Emery, JP. This just happened on Thursday night. If you guys,
Oh, yes, the video you shot.
This is coming from my own personal camera that I filmed this video, and this disclosure is coming from the ground, from the ground up, right? It's grassroots, and now the establishment is having to play catch up.
Yeah.
I know there have been various events over the years, like Disclosure Project and things like that, and these various conferences, right? That you just got back from a conference yourself, JP.
Yep.
And a lot of the, yeah, a lot of the people, even David Carey here, one of our good friends and attendees here on the webinar, he said that he saw you in Colorado at the conference you went to.
My love goes to anybody that saw me, and I hope they felt the beautiful frequency, that we all carry to bring this truth and this beautiful information out.
Okay, here it is. All right. Let me remove this one. And hold on a second. I think it's... Okay, so this is a longer video, but I'm just going to fast forward a little bit. This is a 10-minute video, but we're going to go to...
Show us the highlights.
Yeah, let's go to this part right here.
What direction are you looking off the horizon?
This is directly north over the mountain range in California on the coast, the Central Coast.
Central Coast. Okay.
And this is Big Sur, California. I want you to... I'm going to zoom in here. Okay, here we go. Watch this.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Let's see.
Okay,
It disappeared and then went up. Wow.
yeah, well, let's see. Okay. That was a little bit too far. I need to have this queued up to the exact video, because this one's a little bit longer, and so we would be watching this entire video. A lot of the content I'm getting is absolutely just unconventional flying objects. And okay, here we go. Check this out. This is
Wow.
yeah, check this out. This is 3 ships coming in right here. And you can see the city below. So those look pretty big.
JP, are you thinking what I'm thinking? That might be one big ship.
I know, like a massive one of those 3RT-3Bs.
Yeah, that kind of design. Yeah, the massive one. Yeah, because it's still holding the triangular. Not that it matters. Whoa, there you go.
See how it comes in it and then it phases out.
Yeah, it's rotating. It looks like.
Yeah, it's like a ship rotating in different directions just to get the vibration to take off or to land.
Yeah, it might be dematerializing. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Wow,
that
that's fascinating,
literally
Cameron. That's
happened.
cool.
Just
Cameron
on
gets
the
this stuff every night. He sends me amazing videos.
Yeah.
Cameron's out there surfing, seeing all these things. Beautiful, beautiful contact work.
Nice.
And it's been increasing for you since we've met, right?
That is correct. Yeah, there's a lot of activity. I'm seeing a lot of, it's amazing. So happy skywashing, everybody.
Oh yeah, it's awesome, Cameron. Thanks for
And
doing that.
even NASA, they're releasing some. I just sent you a video, Cameron. Did you got it? You have it? Show that video up. Look at what NASA just let go. Now they have their hands tied. Look, now they're showing ships interacting with the space station.
This is from the space station, the ISS.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember this one.
I mean, there's been a multiple videos, and they're trying to cover up, and they're having a hard time covering it up.
Oh yeah, it's going to be undeniable. There's no way they can do it. They can't cover it anymore.
All right, here it is.
What's up, everybody? This is JP. This is a beautiful catch from NASA. There's going to be a lot of videos coming out like this from different agencies, NASA and other companies that go to space. They thought that this was debris or a satellite, but look at the way it stopped and started hovering over the atmosphere of Earth. Amazing, amazing ship. This reminds me of what the Nordics do. They stop and they recon other ships that are flying around. And look at the way it goes up from the atmosphere, and then it shoots to the left. Beautiful, beautiful catch. Akuria mate. I love you guys. JP out.
Yeah, that's a great shot, JP. Yeah, really, really awesome.
Yeah,
it's undeniable. It's amazing they even did not get this wiped off the internet, and you have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to keep those on.
Well, I once they sent it to me, I posted it like really fast before I took it down. So I put it all. We got a big crowd, so I post everything fast for them to like spread. I say everybody spread it out before it erases. So
right.
I got millions of people. Once I send it out, it's like all over the place. So that's what Disclosure, the White Hats, wants us to do. To bring this information and technologies out.
Right, and everyone's part of it, and that's what's great about it.
But the Black Hats
have a part in it.
The Black Hats are trying to use AI against all this too. So we have to also feel what we see, the frequency of what we see, so we can tell what's real or not.
Yeah. Well, JP, I know we went over, and I don't think anyone's going to complain about that, but I really want to thank you for coming on board. We're going to keep doing these a little bit more often because, we're going to get some more information that we just got to keep sharing. I want to thank Cameron, Commander Salamander. Thank you for being behind the scenes and orchestrating this. We could not have done this without you, of course. You are the man, the ET that no one even knows about, and you get things done. And we're just blessed to have you on the team. And I want to, of course, thank the Dragons and Darla and everyone else behind the scenes with security and the people from above and our Lord God Jesus. Thank you for allowing this to happen. And I want to thank all of you, because without you guys, JP and I would not be able to do this with your support. The money goes directly to JP and the team here. We kind of all split it up. And like I said, without that, there's a lot to do when we're orchestrating this, this amount of people to, get this out of here. I know Cameron is going to probably have the replay put on emerysmith.co here this week. So if someone wants to go watch it, they can probably go over there and purchase it over there. And then we'll let you know when the next one is. And we have another one coming up. Every Sunday now, we're going to have an interview with somebody for sure. So you can follow us on Facebook. And you can also follow us on Cosmic Disclosure Alliance. Make sure you put that up there. I didn't know I had an at Emery.s.smith. Do I have one of those? Oh my gosh. You guys are running my social. I don't even know what I have up there. And thanks for everyone, Valerie and Zara and Juliana and Kim and Holly. If I forgot your name or didn't see it, Caitlin, Juliana, let's see here. I think I got everybody. A small group, but it means a lot to us, like I said, because you'll get that word out and you guys can do the replay as well. Okay, Richard, Corazon. Okay, all right, guys. JP, let's go.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
You are released, and
Yeah.
we'll see you next time. We'll be in contact as you and I doing our work.
Pleasure being here.
Have a great day, man. All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody. As you can see below, follow us at Cosmic Disclosure Alliance Facebook group for all of the compatriots and fans of Cosmic Disclosure. You can also sign up at Cosmic Disclosure Ambassador on Gaia.com. So check that out. Here's the ambassador link. And thank you for tuning in, everyone. Thank you for showing up. This is a movement for disclosure, and thank you for being part of it. We love you. And if you haven't, if you're watching this afterwards, you can go to emerysmith.co. Check out the products there. And you can watch the replay link of this webinar. If you're watching it now, give us a like, a thumbs up, a subscription, and a comment. And we hope to see you again. We'll see you next time. Thank you.